Detroit Lions. Oh, baby, that is big time stuff. Touchdown, 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 Detroit Lions. Oh, baby, 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 baby.
What is going on? How are we doing? How we feeling? Let me know that you are in the comments here, that you are here by commenting in the comments, and we'll get this thing rolling. It's good to see you. Some of you have already started commenting. Josh Jackson, what up? Cola, how you doing? Who's your guy? Good to see you back. Love to see it. Love to see it. Gonna let some people get in here, but you know how we do over here on Touchdown Detroit Lions. It's not just Victory Monday we celebrate. We celebrate the victory all week long. So welcome to Victory Tuesday. I hope you're having an amazing Victory Tuesday. Hello, Mary Peterson. Good to see you in here. Yes, let's get this thing going. But, we played the Carolina Panthers this past week, and we beat them 42-24. We feeling good about that? I mean, I know you got to feel good about a win. It is against a lesser team. But, excuse me. But I saw a lot of people, commenting, we needed to kill them to feel good about this. So is that good enough? Because I was good with just the W no matter what. But a lot of people wanted us to kill them, and I think that we did that. So how you guys feeling? I see you getting in the comments. John Peterson, go Lions. Heard Campbell didn't grade well. Yeah, we'll talk about Jack Campbell. Coach Campbell graded well, but yeah, we'll talk about Jack a little bit. What's up, David? Good to see you in here. Everybody, how's it going? What up? See me no more. David said 49ers look much better than us, but we are improving fast. We will be competitive by the playoffs? Questions? Yeah, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into a lot of things. Let's talk about this victory real quick while people are getting in here. Like I said, the Lions won 42-24, took care of business like we're supposed to do, dominated. Dan Campbell said after the game, that's what good teams do. Are we a good team? I think so. We had to go out there and we had to prove that we're a new Lions team. The Lions of the past, a lot of people were saying this was a trap game. Maybe in years past, but this, like I said, is a brand new Lions, and it's been that way for a long time. But hopefully, this will tell the same old Lions fans, that we're here for real this time. We have been for real. I feel like for a little bit, but to me, just handling business the way that we have the last few weeks when we're supposed to, especially a game like this where people were calling it a trap game. It's great to see, and we did it with. Out some of our key players, no Amon-Ra, no Jahmyr Gibbs, no Brian Branch, no problem, baby. And let's get into it. Josh Reynolds had a great game stepping in and filling in. I mean, he's there anyways. But to have the game that he did in the absence of Amon-Ra, 4 catches, 76 yards, and a beautiful toe-tapping touchdown, you love to see that. I loved it. I didn't know if he got his toes in at first, but when you watch that replay, woo, it's a thing of beauty, baby. Josh Reynolds, great on you. And then his cousin had his cousin, Craig. He got his first touchdown of his NFL career, had a nice little drive there. Wasn't really one of the stars of the game, but, good on Craig. Congratulations on that touchdown. One of the stars of the game, David Montgomery, having another big game, another 100-yard rushing game. Actually had 109 yards rushing on 19 carries and a touchdown. Also had 2 catches for 20 yards there. I love what Monty's been bringing to the table. He absolutely embodies everything that Dan Campbell wants out of a running back. And, I had a lot of Bears fans before the season telling me that he was washed up. He's no good anymore. He got his job taken from him last year, and he's going to do nothing for the Lions. Well, that proved to be absolutely false because this guy has been nothing short of a beast for us and just out there making key plays, extending drives, just carrying people on his back and getting that first down when we really need it. And, last week had a key one on that third and goal, got it down to the 1-yard line. We talked about it last week. Anyways, Montgomery has been contributing in a huge way, and I love to see it. I never thought in my life that I would be rooting for David Montgomery. As an Iowa fan, he played for Iowa State. You know, we don't mess with Iowa State in Iowa if you're in a Hawkeye. And then, you know, being a Detroit Lions fan, he's drafted to the Chicago Bears. He was supposed to be their guy. Well, now he's on Detroit, and I'm loving him. And I'm very thankful that Montgomery came over. You know what? Not to put any shade on Jamal either, because I loved Jamal when he was here. I loved his leader capabilities. I loved what he did for us. But I think, and this definitely has been proven so far throughout the season, that Montgomery is definitely an upgrade. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if he breaks the record that Jamal broke last year and gets 31-32 rushing touchdowns in there this year. But we'll see. They love to use him in the red zone, and he gets the job done, baby. But I love what Montgomery's been doing for us so far. But let's talk about another guy who contributed in a big way and actually only had 3 catches. But I'm talking about rookie tight end Sam Laporta. You can't go a week without talking about this guy. But yeah, 3 catches, 2 of them for touchdowns. Of course, one off the big trick play that the 49ers copied off of us later on. You know, they probably had that in their playbook too. We ran that play last year. Got it to Brock Wright, and he got a touchdown off of it. So it's a great play. I think we ran it a little smoother than the 49ers. Kittle even admitted that he watched Laporta score that and went to Shanahan and said, hey, we should run that play today. So they're watching us, man. They're watching us. And, you know, I know we're watching them too. And we're going to talk about the 49ers and the teams that, like the Philly, the teams around us and where we compare and whatnot. I'm just going to get through this game real quick. But, yeah, you know, Sam Laporta, I thought that he was going to be great coming in for us. Iowa is tight end university. I expected big things, like I said, but he has exceeded my expectations so far with the production he's been able to do out there on the field as a rookie. It's great to see, you know. He's by far proven that he's the best tight end in this rookie class. And he's got the chance to prove the rest of the year that he's the best tight end in the NFL this year. I mean, he does it all, too. I know that there's other guys who are vets who do a lot more dirty work, maybe. But Laporta's leading the league in yards. He's got, you know, he's doing great here, and he blocks too. He's really good at blocking. Gronk loves him. Gronk said he's going to be the highest paid tight end here in a few years. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we're the ones paying him. Hopefully maybe he wants to take a cut. I don't know. We have a lot of decisions to make here in the future with the people that we drafted. But let's get moving on. You know, Goff once again cooking. Great game for him. You can see his stats going across the bottom. He had, you know, another great game. 4 total touchdowns. Love to see it from the guy. He's a field general. A lot of people I've been seeing talking today are putting him in the MVP conversation, which is, I mean, it's not that crazy when you look at what he's done this year, but it is kind of crazy, you know. I never expected to say Jared Goff might win the MVP this year. Now, I was hoping to say that. I was hoping I could say that, but it never really crossed my mind coming into this year. I know that he could have another great year and whatnot, but to be in the talks, you know, MVP talks, it is only week 5. But Jared, just keep this up. And that's all I ask. We don't need to win MVP. We got bigger things to win, right? But yeah, just keep doing you, and we're going to be fine. Saw Marvin Jones out there making some catches finally. Got a first down. Good on you, Marvin. Love to see it. Love to see it. Loved Marvin of the past with Stafford, the 911 connection. But yeah, you love to see Marvin getting some production out there. And he's also a great blocker out there when he's on the field as well. Khalif Raymond had some nice catches. He started it off for the offense out there. Already talked about Craig Reynolds. But yeah, Penei Sewell, another dominant performance. He had 30 pass rush defenses and gave up 0 pressures on the quarterback. The guy is an absolute dog. He's another one that we're going to have to definitely lock up moving forward. If we don't, that's a really dumb move. So, but I guarantee you we're going to try and lock down Penei. Not try, we're going to do it. And Penei, he wants to be here. He wants to be here. But, yeah, love to see that. Absolute dog. And he's versatile. He got back to his other side last few games. back to his beast mode ways. Just, nobody getting by me, baby. But he's such a good player, and I think he's finally stepping into that all-pro level this year. I thought he was there before, but to move from right tackle and then to go play a few games at left tackle and give up only, 2 pressures when you're switching to a different position. I know we played it in college, but pros is a whole different level, and to be able to go back and forth and to dominate the way that he has, he's all pro, baby. Penei Sewell, elite, 100%. 100%. But, yeah, the offense in general, 14 straight games scoring 20 or more points. We're living in the kitchen, baby. We're living in the kitchen because all we do is cook. And every meal that has come out this year has been the most delicious meal to me as a Lions fan. It's insane what we're doing here. So continue to cook. We're getting 4-course meals every game. That third quarter meal needs to get a little bit better. They need to do a little bit better job of prepping and cooking that one. We could do a lot better in the third quarter. But other than that, keep cooking offense. Love to see it. All right, let's get to the defense. And then we'll get on to talking about what we're talking about in the comments over here. I see Braylon, what up? Hey, see me nowhere. Any chance we get Surtain? We're going to talk about that. Zach J, what's going on? Braylon says, did you go to the game, Nick? I did not go to the game. I did not. I wish I was there. Were you there, Braylon? Let me know. I want to know the experience. But let's talk about the defense real quick, and then we'll get into the questions. But the defense, they had another great game. I thought, we did give up 24 points, but gave up some garbage time points there as well. Didn't have as many sacks. We were getting to him, though, a lot of pressures. He was throwing it out of bounds. We were doing work. We did force 3 turnovers, and the offense capitalized off of every one of those turnovers. So great job on the defense there. Jerry Jacobs with another pick. Will Harris gets a fumble recovery. And then, of course, the insanely crazy grab by Aiden Hutchinson there at the line. He read that all day, knew it was going to be a little screen. But, wow, just to stick your hand out there, and it wasn't just a little dump off. He kind of darted that in there. Hutch reached out, pulled it in. I thought he was going to return it for a touchdown. He got smacked there pretty good, but, got back in the game. Very athletic play by Hutch. And he's got 4 picks in his career now, which is also crazy because a lot of guys don't even get 4 picks their entire career. And get this, defensive rookie of the year last year, Sauce Gardner, he doesn't even have 4 picks in his career, and he's a cornerback. I do want to say that I think Hutch got snubbed last year in the defensive rookie of the year, but we don't really care about that. I don't think he does either, as long as he's out there proving what he is now. And what he is now to me is elite. He got another sack this game, and I think it's time to officially say it. A lot of people, they've been hesitant on saying it. I kind of a few weeks ago was calling him out when we didn't get any sacks against the Seahawks when they had their backup tackles in. But I think it's time to say it. Hutch is elite. The guy has 35 pressures through 5 weeks, which leads the league. He's currently on pace to get 119 by the end of the season. And the high last year was Parsons and Nick Bosa, who had 90, I believe. Shout out to Colton Pouncey for that stat right there. But he already has 4.5 sacks, the pick we mentioned, 4 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble with the fumble recovery, and this is only through 5 weeks. A ton of guys would be happy with that, to have that be their stat line by the end of the season. So, Hutch, yeah, he's elite, and he's going to keep on doing this the rest of the season as long as he can stay healthy. You love to see it. There were some questions at the beginning of the season with the defensive line, but it looks like they found the right formula, and they're just going to work now. But yeah, Hutch, elite for sure. Let me know what you think. Okay. I mentioned Jerry Jacobs a little earlier as well, and I want to talk a little bit about Jerry because Jerry deserves a little bit of credit. So we're going to give Jerry a little chant here. Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. But yeah, he got another pick this game. But check this out. Jerry Jacobs leads the Detroit Lions in interceptions with 3. He leads the Lions in pass breakups with 5. And he also leads the Lions with solo tackles with 27. Now, Anzalone has the total tackles that's, combined and solo with 35, but solo tackles, Jerry Jacobs leads that. So, I think that Jerry was getting a lot of flack before this, especially after the Seattle game. He didn't have a good game against Seattle, but he promised us he was going to get better, and he did. Over the last few weeks, he's been very well for us, and unfortunately, the news of Emmanuel Moseley going down after he just came back from an ACL injury, gets another ACL injury once again in week 5. That was the same week that he got it in last year. You hate to hear that for a guy, especially after he fought back so hard to get on the field and then to go out on his second play back on the field. You just hate to hear that. So I hope for a speedy recovery for Emo, and that's just got to be heavy on his mental as well. But, thoughts and prayers with Emmanuel Moseley. Hopefully you can get back there on the field and be who you were prior to all this. Going to be a tough road, but, you got this. You already did once. Anyways, bad news there. But back to some good news. Jerry Jacobs, he's kind of proven that he can fill in that role. He at first we were kind of like, okay, I don't know about Jerry. A lot of people consider him a backup corner. The numbers haven't lied, though, over the last few weeks. And obviously, he's leading the Lions in some very important stats. So I think that, going through the adversity, battling through the fans' heat, he heard it. He had to get rid of his Twitter. And then coming back and bouncing back the way that he did. And to have the performances over the last few weeks, the way that he has, I think that Jerry is ready for this role. And we're going to be okay. Now, we did go out and make a move. We got Anthony Everett, and he's a veteran. I don't think he comes in and starts for us at all. It's a depth move. He does have some starting experience, though. Let me see right here real quick. I want to make sure I get this correct. But, yeah, he's played 51 games with 27 starts with Baltimore and the Raiders. So, he's definitely got some experience. He's not going to be Emmanuel Moseley or Jerry Jacobs, but we got someone to fill there. But I think we're going to be okay, especially when Brian Branch comes back. I think Jerry Jacobs is going to do just fine. We were all excited for Emmanuel Moseley to be there, but he hasn't even really been there this season, so it's not like we really lost anything. You hate to see it for that guy. I hate to see it. It's a terrible thing to happen in the league, but Jerry Jacobs has proved that he can hold down that side, I think. So good on you, Jerry, over the last few weeks. But yeah, overall great win for the Lions. Once again, took care of business when we needed to. 42-24. A lot of people said it was a trap game. Wasn't a trap game. We take care of the business. All right, let's get over here to the comments and see what's going on, and then we'll move on to some other things. Braylon said, yes, he was there. Great experience. I bet it was. I mean, when I was watching on TV, I could hear the crowd from my couch, I think. Like, I definitely heard them on the TV, but I'm saying I could feel it shaking my building. Anyways, you guys got really loud there. You love to see that. The announcers even said that a few of the plays were credited to the fans. They were getting so loud. So way to go. Love to see that, Braylon. Get to some more games. Zach J says, yeah, that Hutch interception was impressive. Definitely was. Definitely was, and I expect to see more. Hutch, he called it. He's got hands, man. And if they're going to throw it his way, he's already batted down 4 passes prior to that, or at least tipped them. He's right there. He's going to get another one. I'm calling. He's going to get another one this year. Terry Watts, what up? What up, dope? He says, Hutch is crazy talent. Thank you, Jags. Yeah, no kidding. I can't believe that. I mean, we kind of all knew they wanted Walker, which is insane. They didn't even really look at Hutch after that. And I don't know if it was because of his combine. And this just proves that the combine isn't everything. You got to go off of tape. And that's what our guys have been saying. That's what Brad and Dan say. They said tape don't lie. And that's the truth. We all knew Hutch was a beast coming into the league. I was so stoked when he dropped a 2. And obviously the Lions were, because they got in trouble from the NFL for putting in their pick too quick. But yes, thank you, Jags, once again. Zach J says, but Moseley is prime example of why I don't like signing guys with injuries. Yes. Okay. Let's talk about that a little bit. This is something that Brad Holmes likes to do. And I've talked about this in prior weeks. I think this is his downfall or his weakness. He likes to give guys who are injury prone second and third and fourth chances. We draft guys out of college who were hurt, and then they don't see the field for the whole first year. JMO, I'm still excited to see what JMO can do. I'll talk about him a little bit here. But Pascal, Levi, Broderick Martin isn't injured, but he hasn't seen the field yet. But then we go out. CJ Gardner-Johnson got hurt last year. I know that he's an elite talent and he makes a difference, but look at what happens. He gets hurt again. Emmanuel Mosley, same thing. Brad Holmes gives these injury-prone guys chances. Now, if they can play to their potential, of course, it's going to be worth it. And maybe, the 1-year contract deal was that. He's like, well, let's just see how much we can get out of him. Obviously, we didn't get anything out of him. Unfortunately, this is a terrible news for Emmanuel Mosley. I know that he didn't plan to go out there and have this happen, and neither did Brad or anybody. We all expected him to come back, be the player he was before his ACL injury, and go out there and have a great year on defense for us. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but this is what Brad Holmes has done since he's been here. He goes out and he gets some injury-prone guys who, and serious injuries that they've had in the past, and then he gives them another chance. A lot of the times they get hurt again. I hope that doesn't happen with anybody else. I'm going to knock on some wood right here. But yeah, I'm done with that as well. I don't like it. I haven't since he's been doing it. That's my only thing that I have to nitpick about Brad Holmes. Other than that, he's drafting, very well with the guys who can stay healthy. But yeah, that's been my pet peeve of Brad Holmes, if there was any. So other than that, he's a great GM. But way to point that out. All right. John Peterson, Branch Brown, Gibbs update. Let me choose. All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into the injuries. And that was perfect right there, John Peterson. Thank you for segueing me into my next segment. All right. I just mentioned, Emmanuel Mosley. He's done for the season. Jonah Jackson, though, he was seen wearing a boot after the game. I guess he was dealing with something with his ankle, maybe his foot. Dan Campbell said, taped it up real tight. Sometimes after the game, when you let the tape go, a bunch of swelling shows up. So he said it's more just precautionary. They're going to see how he is in a few days, if the swelling goes down, how much pain he can tolerate on it. But as of right now, he's questionable. He thinks he'll be ready to go for Sunday. But if not, Vitai's back. I think they're going to let Graham Glasgow keep rolling over there at the right guard. He's been doing well. He's one of the top-rated guards, according to PFF. So we're going to let Graham Glasgow continue to roll over there. But Vaitai can easily fill in for Jonah Jackson. He's not Jonah Jackson, but he's not far behind him. But hopefully Jackson is good to go there. But yeah, other guys, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Dan Campbell says that he is optimistic that he will be able to play this week, even said that he's probable to play this week. So, that's great news. We have the bye right after this. I was kind of thinking if he was still a little banged up that they were going to rest him, especially after how well we did on offense this past week. I know that we were playing a banged up Panthers secondary, so it's going to be different. Bucks have a better defense. But it's good to have Amon-Ra St. Brown back. His goal was to play every game this season. Already missed one, so you know that's eating him up. That's just how Amon-Ra is. But yes, Dan Campbell says he is very optimistic that Amon-Ra St. Brown will be back. I haven't heard much on Jahmyr Gibbs yet. Kind of just day-to-day still. It's a hamstring. And the way that Monty's going, I wouldn't expect him to come back this week, honestly. If he's still kind of tight there, there's no use in risking the rookie coming back. Run game's kind of set there with Montgomery. I would love to see Jahmyr Gibbs get back out there. He's on my fantasy football team, but I'm not one of those fantasy football guys who's like, come on, get him the ball. I want to see him develop the right way as a rookie, but not too much news on Jahmyr Gibbs yet. But yes, so other than that, who's the other one that you asked about? Brian Branch. I don't think that Brian Branch will be back until after the bye week. He did kind of say, still a little stiffness there. Can't cut the same way that he was prior to that. I think if he would have stayed out the rest of the game instead of going back in and re-aggravating it when he did in that game against the Packers. Maybe he'd be back already, but I don't think it'll be too much longer, if at all. He won't play this week, I don't think. I don't know for a fact that yet. It is only Tuesday, but as of right now, it's not looking good for Branch to play this week, but expect him back after the bye week. We also have some guys returning from the IR very soon. Khalil Dorsey, he could be back as soon as this week. And Pascal, they're expecting back after the bye week, but both good news. Dorsey more of a special teams guy, but always good to have him out there wrecking havoc on special teams. Special teams is an important part of the game, and Pascal was doing very well against Kansas City before he got hurt. Another injury-prone guy, but hopefully he can stay healthy the rest of the way because he does make a difference on that defensive line. He made some big plays at Kansas City, and I would love to see the defense just get that much stronger with him returning. And so let's get in the Bucs game. We just gotta get through this game, stay healthy. But I think that we can win this even if we are missing a few people. They're kind of banged up. Mike Williams, not sure if he's gonna go, but they're coming off of a bye week, so he did have a week to rest. But I think as long as we put some pressure on Baker, dominate the line on both sides again, and then we're going to be fine. And we got to get the timely scores too. We got to get better in the third quarter. This is definitely going to be one of the bigger tests. We're going to be going on the road to a team that has been, surprisingly well this year. And their defense is probably going to be the best defense that we've faced so far this year. So it'll be a true test to us. But luckily, our offense is starting to get really rolling. We're starting to get the 30, 40-point games. So I think we're going to be okay. As long as we can dominate the run game on both sides, stuff them, and then run them into the ground with ours, then we're going to be okay there. But it's going to be a true test for sure. I'm going to go ahead and give my prediction. Then I'm going to get into the comments. I want to see what you guys think the score prediction is going to be this week, though. But I got the Lions taking down the Bucs 28-20 in a closer game. But I do see the Lions taking this one home. I'm going to get into the comments now, though, because I see you guys going off. But cheers. Cheers. Alrighty. Anthony Averett. Yes. Okay. See me no more. Anthony Averett, not anybody crazy good, not expected to come in and start for us at all. It's depth. We just got to add a little bit more to the cornerback room now that Mosley's gone. He has 27 starts in his career. That's good to know. He's not a Pro Bowl or anything, but if needed, there's somebody there who has experience. He's a veteran. We're not going to go out and get some people in. And you asked about Surtain. I think that was you. Yes, let's talk about it. I don't think, especially since we got Anthony Averett, I don't think that we're going to get Patrick Surtain at all. I would have liked to see that move. We would have had to give up a lot to get him. He's kind of on Denver's list like Max Crosby is on the Raiders list. Kind of a no-touch deal, kind of a no-chance deal, unless you're going to give up the house for him. And I think that, a lot of people wanted or were okay with giving up a first and a third for Surtain because he is a generational talent. He's an elite corner, and he could really help this defense out. I just don't see Brad Holmes making the blockbuster trade this year. We have other guys moving forward that we're going to have to sign from our own team that we've drafted that are going to be very expensive in the next coming years. And Patrick Surtain, we'd have to pay him a lot to keep him on this team as well. He's very pricey. He's very good. But just because of that, I don't see us going after him. And I don't see us going after any huge name that wants a trade right now. Maybe, Burns. I don't know, though. I just don't see him giving up that much capital. And Jerry Jacobs has been playing okay. I just don't see it happening this year. Not Surtain, anyways. I think it would have to be too much to get him. And Brad likes to draft. But who knows? What do I know? What do I know, right? But we'll see. We haven't done it yet. I think the biggest midway trade that we've made since Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have been here is Josh Reynolds. And it's proved to be a pretty good pickup, honestly, because him and Goff have great chemistry. And you saw that toe tap this past week. But yeah, I don't see us getting Surtain just because we got this vet right here. It's a depth move. But who knows? Maybe Brad will have a hair up his, you know what? And he'll go after him. He'll go, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Alrighty. Braylon says, how did Jackson get hurt? I'm not really sure. Like I said, I think he was just kind of dealing with something that he was trying to tough through before, a little low ankle sprain or something that didn't really show up on the practice report because he's a tough guy and he was battling through it. It was never a concern of theirs. But at the end of the game, he took his tape off. Dan Campbell said, sometimes that happens. All the blood rushes right afterwards. You get a ton of swelling. So they were just being precautionary, put him in a walking boot so he didn't have to put any pressure on that foot just in case. So hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it was just a ton of swelling from taping up that foot and that ankle too tight. We'll see. Jonah Jackson's a tough guy. I expect him to be out there unless it's something serious. Zach J, but the positive thing about Holmes is he does a lot of one-year deals for those players. So if they don't work out, you can walk with no cap issues. Yeah, and we're back on the hurt guys, the one-year deal hurt guys. Yeah, and that's the thing, it's a hit or miss. And so as mad as, and it doesn't make me mad, but as much as, I want to nitpick it or say that's my pet peeve, yeah, it's really not like a huge cap hit. And it's a safe deal most of the time. It's a prove-it deal. And when they can't prove it, we had Shark last year on that deal. He was an injury guy. But then look at how huge he turned up for us throughout the rest of the season. He sealed that game for us against the Packers. I wish we would have made the playoffs off of that. But Shark was one of those guys who we gave another shot to, ended up panning out when, Emmanuel Mosley unfortunately didn't. But C.J. Gardner-Johnson could potentially come back at the end of the season. And if we're rolling and we're still going, watch out. We're going to be a lot stronger with all these injury guys coming back. And if he balls out at the end, sign CJ to another year or two, and we're going to be good to go. But all right, Ryan, what up? Hey, good to see you in here. Andrew says, Bucks fans seem to think this is a wrap-up win for them. I just smile and think, good day to you, sir. That's crazy. That's crazy that they're thinking that, and that's good. Good. I hope that they come in here and think that they got this one in the bag, and I hope that the Bucks think that as well, because we're a whole different team. I don't know why people are underestimating us still, especially after the way we've been playing. I even saw a Packers writer talking about when we were playing them, they're like, this is atrocious that we're the underdogs at home. And then the next week he said, after this past week when they just lost to the Raiders, they're like, how the hell are we the underdogs again? Last week we got screwed being the underdogs. I was like, man, you just lost to us. How are you still complaining about being the underdog? Anyways, still not getting respect from other fans around the league. I have other friends and stuff too who are like Dallas Cowboy fans, and they're saying, oh, Lions are actually trying to make some noise. Yeah, we'll see. I'm like, yeah, we will see. I'm not going to get cocky though. And that's something that we all need to kind of realize and stuff too. My boy Gridiron, Derek, he said this too on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But he says, remember where we came from, we got to humble ourselves, but just remember where we came from. We were always the team on the bottom for quite some years, and we had to take a lot of flack. It doesn't, and he said, and I'll say it too, if people are clapping at you, clap back, baby, but don't go out there and go out of your way to be like, we're the Lions, you guys suck, all this, be humble. It's a good year. It's a time to embrace us. Go wear your gear proud. Go out there, stick your chest out, do that. Do it all, baby. But yeah, no need to intentionally go out there and be disrespectful about us being good so far this year. Anyways, okay, let's get back into the comments. Robin's Nest, good to see you back in here. Third quarter is killing me. They need to fix that. Come out, pedal to the metal. Yeah, me too. I think they did better this quarter. They and like Dan said, they controlled it, but we need to score. And time ran out there. We probably would have scored if we had a little bit more. Obviously, we scored at the beginning of the fourth quarter there. So we started to get it together. But yeah, this next week, I want to see a score every quarter, but especially the third quarter. We need to play better. I want to play a complete full game of just dominance on offense and defense. I think our defense does well though in the third quarter. They keep us in it, And that's always a good thing. But, yeah, do better in the third quarter, Lions. Come on, let's get this. Robin's Nest also says 35-13. That's what I like to see. Okay, you guys got more confidence than me. I'm confident. I'm just saying we're on the road. Bucks have a little better defense than we've seen, but hey, I love it. 35-13. See Me No More says 35-10. Lions love it. Braylon Dennis says Lions win 34-27. Hey, and he says, or Lions win 30-20. Either way, I'll take it. I'm with it. Sick with it. We getting PS2. Okay, hey, let's go. Kim, what up? Hello, mother. That's my mom. See Me No More. I think the Lions will be the best defense the Bucks face so far. Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of vice versa, right? So, they might be the best defense that we face so far, but we're going to be the best defense that they face so far, as long as we show up and we play our game. And I think we will. I think Glenn's got these people going. And, yeah, let's talk about some of the defensive guys. I know John asked about Jack Campbell earlier. He was rated low. He didn't have a good rating from PFF. That's okay. He's a rookie, and he's making mistakes out there. He's supposed to. But he's also making good plays. And I think the reason why he had the low rating, he gave up that touchdown. Now, they did the tight end, whoever it was acting like it was a run. Jack bit, and then he got beat. Rookie mistake, gonna happen to linebackers. Gonna happen to veteran linebackers. But Jack Campbell is a guy that's gonna eat at him all week. He's gonna try and correct that, and I think he will. You know, he'll probably get beat again in his career, definitely. He's a rookie, like I said. But I think that's where the bad grade comes in. He gave up the touchdown. Other than that, he was out there making a lot of good plays as well. I saw him stuff a few guys behind the line. And Dan Campbell says that they are very happy with his production so far. They say he's coming along at the exact pace that they want him to, and they're going to throw him out there more moving forward. You saw that Rodriguez, we were talking about it. He didn't play hardly at all on the defense, if at all. He was just straight up special teams, which I think is better. And Jack Campbell, Dan Campbell said it, he's going to get more snaps moving forward starting this week. With more snaps comes, more experience. He's going to be good. Jack Campbell will get much better, and I think it's only a matter of time before he has a huge game for us on defense. So, yeah, he was rated low. Sometimes PFF isn't the best at ratings as well. But, at judging on how a player plays, because you can see a guy go out and make some key, huge plays at opportune times, but then you come back and you're like, oh, they had the lowest grade, but you didn't see anything that they did bad the whole rest of the game. Anyways, Jack Campbell graded low, but he's improving. And I think he's going to be just fine moving forward. The coaching staff's happy with him. He's a rookie. Remember that. He'll be okay, guys. Linebacker is a very hard position, and they're not just playing him at one position. I mean, he's moving all over. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But big plans moving ahead for Jack Campbell, says Dan Campbell. Alrighty. See Me No More. Lions tend to take T. All right. Andrew says, I say it will be a low-scoring game, 17-10. Woo! I hope that we get over 20. I hope we make it 15 straight games for the offense, getting 20 or more points. I see us trying our hardest. I think Ben Johnson takes pride in that because, it shows that he is a top coordinator. And this brings me to my next point. Lock down Ben. Lock him down. We need him. We need him even after this year. I hope that we achieve the goal, the special thing that he came back for. And I think that special thing, we all know what it is. Super Bowl, baby. But, there's some tough teams out there. And we're going to talk about that right here, right after this. But I think that we need to lock down Ben Johnson for at least another year. The guy is so creative. He's a genius. And him and Goff just work well together. I don't know. I think that Ben Johnson can do this with other quarterbacks. But him and Goff, they can just they read each other's minds. They're like two best friends that have been best friends for 25 plus years. They can give each other that look and they're like, okay, yeah, something like that. But I want to see Ben Johnson stay around, pay the man. He's going to have the chance to go wherever he wants to be a head coach next year. Not wherever, but a place that needs a head coach. They're going to be hitting up Ben. So, Sheila, if you're listening, lock him down. Brad, If you have any say, lock him down, man. Come on. We need him back. We need him back. Get this whole coaching staff on board. Love to see it, baby. Alrighty. But yeah, let's talk about it. I got asked earlier, 49ers look good, and I think it was Braylon, he said that they look much better than the Lions right now, but we're improving. Do you think we have a chance to beat them in the playoffs or meet them in the playoffs? Now, this is the way that I see it. Every team has to get hot at the right time, and as long as you're hot at the end of the year, you got a good chance. I think that we have a great roster. At the moment, I have a few teams ahead of us for sure. Definitely 49ers, Philly. We beat the Chiefs, but whatever. I don't have the Chiefs at us. Anyways, Philly, as far as the NFC goes, we'll just stay there. 49ers and Philly. I think today, right now, put us on the field with Philadelphia, and we're taking a W. I don't care. They want to say, oh, 49ers, Philly, Lions are the next year. They can't compete with them. I don't think so. I think we're ready to take down Philly today. I think it would be a great game, but I think we are on the same level as Philadelphia. I know that they have a few more playmakers, maybe. We're a full team, but I think that we can definitely compete and take down Philly today. 49ers, on the other hand, I think it would be very tough. I would love to see that matchup right now. I want to see where we compare with them. But the thing that the 49ers are doing, and that's going for them right now, they're rolling. They're having playing some of the best football that they ever have. But, they haven't had the injury bug hit them yet. So we'll see where they're at the end of the year. And we're only going to get better. We've been hit with the injury bug. And we're proving that we can keep coming out and keep winning without some of our top guys. So if we can stay healthy and continue to improve throughout the year, because we've been improving each game. We've been scoring more points. The defense still has the lowest amount of rushing yards in the NFL. We're still out there dominating. I think that we can match up pretty well against the 49ers. Right now, I would say they would definitely beat us. I'm not going to be one of those Lions fans like, oh, we can get them right now, because I think that they beat us right now. But down the road, there's no telling, and it's playoff football. That's when we would have to meet them. It all depends on how each team is looking at that time. But if we're healthy and we're even, and our roster is even better from guys coming back, and we've improved throughout the season, then yes, of course, I feel like we can compete with them and definitely steal one from them in the playoffs. It's going to be tough. I mean, the Niners are a whole different monster, but you have to continue this through the entire football season, which is very hard to do for most teams. So we'll see what it boils down to at the end. As of right now, Niners over everybody, but do not count out the Lions moving forward. And I think they need to put a little bit more respect on our name, saying that, they're saying we can't compete with Philly right now. I think we can take down Philly right now. That's where I stand. That's where I stand. Like the one says right there, it's any given Sunday. And the way that we match up, a lot of people thought Dallas matched up, but I think we're way better of a team than Dallas. Our offenses, their defense, is pretty dominant. But I think that, our run defense can match up pretty well against theirs. Their run offense, they do have a great offensive line. But I think we could do well against them. And Ben Johnson would pull out all the stops that game, that's for sure. We'd be seeing stuff that we've never seen before. We saw last week something that we've never seen before. The little, snap through Goff's legs, which I love, to Montgomery, who got a hell of a run there. He just powered it through for 10 yards in the first down when he was already, looked like he was going to be down after 3. But yeah, we're going to be seeing something. If we play the Niners, expect Ben Johnson to have more than a handful of plays that people have never seen, or that are variations of things that people have never seen. And we're gonna be doing some trick plays out there to do what we need to do to win that game if we get there. Long season to go, though. Long season to go. But trust, we'll have a game plan for that. All right. Here we go. Robin's Nest. And Braylon says lock down Ben Johnson permanently. Would love to see it. Robin's Nest, Ben Johnson will be Chargers coach 2024. Face it, someone is going to throw the big bag at him. Yeah, or the bag at him. And that's what happens with good teams. You have good coaches, you have good players. Unfortunately, you have to part with some of them. I trust that we'll be able to do, good moving forward. Goff and Dan Campbell can use their minds, take a lot of what Ben's already done, and keep the thing rolling. We'll see, though. Maybe they already got, the protege underneath Ben right now who's learning everything. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, you're probably more right than us keeping him there. But a long way to go. Long way to go. We'll see. Braylon says, we will squeak past the Niners. I hope so. Robin's Nest says Philly looks very beatable. I agree. Yeah. Hey, there we go. There we go. And I'm going through. I know I don't see it right away, so I'm sorry that I'm delayed to your comments. David said, they're a better team than Carolina, but we'll be better with Brown and Branch, won't we? Yeah. But I don't, and Brown will be back. I'm not sure that Branch comes back this week, but we're going to be okay. We're going to be just fine. We're going to have a game plan for them. We're going to pound the ball down their throats. And we're not going to let them run on us at all. And Baker's going to see Hutch in his face all dang game. So I think that we will be good to go. And Bucks, they are definitely, Seattle was probably the best team that we played so far. Maybe the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the best team. We lost to Seattle, whatever. They were a good team. The Bucks are 3-1. I don't think the Bucks are on Seattle's level. But we can't take them for granted at all. They're 3-1. We're playing them at home. They got a good defense. We got to come out firing like this is, this is a must win, because I know that the Packers just lost, which was amazing. Way to go, Raiders. We are now 2.5 games up in the division. Love to see it. But every game's a must win, especially when you look at the Packers record. I thought they were going to win that one last night. They didn't. Love to see it. Love to see that love is not clutch at all. But, yeah, so every game's a must-win, especially in the NFC, because the Packers' schedule is so easy. So we got to go out there, and this is another statement game. They're 3-1. You're saying, I forget who said it up here earlier. Was it Andrew? Said that that the Bucks fans think that this is a walkthrough game, that they're going to just walk right over us. Well, let's go out and make another statement that we are for real, and that we're not a tier below Philly or the 49ers. I mean, everybody's going to say 49ers, of course, especially if they have another dominant performance. But we're not below Philly. I don't care what anybody says. We're right there. But Robin's Nest, yes, has a good point. Road goes through San Fran. That is faux show, and especially as of right now. We'll see at the end of the year. They got to stay healthy. That's the health is wealth in the NFL. Alrighty, Andrew. If Johnson is gone next year, I don't know about the Lions after this season, but we hope someone else steps up. Yeah, I think the Lions will be okay. They're going to embody Dan Campbell. They're going to still have that grit. Of course, Ben Johnson is a genius. But like I said, hopefully we have that young protege, just the intern, somebody just taking notes right now who's ready to roll and step in there. Ben Johnson, he's a tight end coach, quarterback coach. He was a lower tier guy for a long time, and then he got his chance. It's just next guy up. Just like with players, next guy up with coaches. Hopefully we get the next genius. I think a lot of guys are going to want to come to Detroit now with how we, just our style of play, our success that's happening right now, the way that Dan Campbell just, gets all the team fired up behind him. This is a place that people want to be now. That was never in the past. So I think that we'll be okay. We'll see what happens. It's a long way to go. Let's enjoy Ben while we have him. Let's just enjoy Ben while we have him. All right, who's you got-y? Them saying we can't compete with Philly is crazy. Last year was close contested game, and we've only improved. Yeah, and that was the very first game of the season. Our defense was terrible during that time. Imagine if we just had a decent defense that could have got 1 stop, 2 stops against Philly that game. Or key stops is what I mean. But if we could have got one of those, we would have won that game. And our defense was absolutely atrocious. So it's a whole new year this year. I don't know why they're putting Philly on the pedestal. They are undefeated. They're finding ways to win. But let's go. I wish we could call them out and be like, we want you next week, baby. We don't even want, you know what I mean? But it's not how it goes. We got to focus on this week. And we got to focus on the Bucks. They're a tough team. Cannot overlook this one. We should win this. The Bucks fans think the same thing for them, but we should win this, and we should be rolling in to our bye week 5-1, and that would be absolutely amazing. I don't know the last time the Lions started 5-1. I know the last time we started 4-1 was back in 1991. Whew, sheesh. You know, I was 4 years old? Yeah, I didn't want to age myself, but Jesus, man. long time ago, baby. Long time ago. But yeah, I just see us, I don't know. Yeah. We got to handle this. Here we go. See me no more. True Blue Lions fan since Monty Clark. It's nice to see them winning. Best team I've seen, even the Barry years. Yeah, and I'm a little bit younger. I'm not young anymore, I don't think. I mean, I like to consider myself young, but I'm definitely not super young. I got to see Barry play and all that, but this is by far, yes, this is a full, complete team. I don't know the last time if the Lions could ever say that they had a 100% complete team. We play all aspects of the ball. We're complementary of each other. We're playing complementary football, baby. Love to see it. Yeah, just hopefully we can keep this rolling. And, you know, Dan Campbell's done great since he's been here. I think the coaches that he brings on too make a huge difference. We were calling for Aaron Glenn's head, but look at, he stepped it up. But these coaches who have played the game, they just understand more and they know how to relate to these players. So we just got to, I think, lock down Dan Campbell for life too, right? I mean, he hasn't gotten us to the playoffs yet. So once he does that, if he can get us to the playoffs, get a playoff win, a few playoff wins, if he gets a Super Bowl, lock him down for life for sure. And Goff gets a statue. But that's got to happen first. All right. I got ahead of myself there. I didn't mean to say that, okay? I got ahead of myself. Braylon Dennis says, once again, lock down Ben Johnson permanently. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Robin's Nest, make his assistant coach a major bag and contract for next man up. That's the only way I see it happening. Yeah. You know, it's you could do that though. Yeah, give him the largest contract that any assistant coach has ever had, and make him, you know, he's the assistant head coach. Give him that title. He's not just the offensive coordinator. He's the assistant head coach, the co-head coach to Dan Campbell. And I think then he'll stay. I don't know if Dan will feel good about that, but Dan will, I think he'd be fine. I think Dan's a humble guy. I think he'll be okay. I know Dan likes to compete. But to keep Ben around, I think he might do it. I don't know. All right. Thomas, they should be more scared of us than we are of them. Talking about the Bucks, yeah, I think so. But, you know, every fan base is a little biased towards their guys, and they think that Baker Mayfield is the new savior. We'll see. Baker's going to Baker eventually, and I mean in a bad way. He's not going to hold up what he's been doing, and he hasn't done anything spectacular. You know, he just hasn't turned the ball over a lot, and he's, you know, handing it to the other guys, letting them do their thing. So Baker's going to Baker, and I think that we're going to expose him this week. I hope so, at least. No matter what, we got to come out with the same fire that we have. Can't take these guys lightly. They're 3-1. We're on the road. All right. Fletch, what up? Says, fan since 1978, 8 years old. I love this team. Sky's the limit. Love it. Love to see it. Love the diehards. And I think we have the best fans around. We're the most loyal fans. You have to be. And you have to be a little bit crazy, too, to put up with what we went through. But now we're here, and we deserve this. So, you know, I hope that it keeps rolling. We're still in week 5, but this is a great team, and as long as we can stay healthy, I see great things happening this year. Andrew says, I was 6 in 91. I got to meet Barry Sanders and company as a kid in 92 as part of the Lions kids for the week 1 home opener through my school. That is amazing. I wish I could have done that. That is insane, but that's really cool. You got to meet Barry, you know, very humble guy. GOAT. He's the GOAT. I actually, I found this today in my cards, and it is a throwback. I don't know if it's going to focus at all, but that's a throwback 1998 Barry card right there. Just had to show it. I don't know if it focused. But, yeah, it looked out of focus. I'm just looking back on it right now. Anyways, that's an awesome story. Fletch Lives Daily says make Ben president. OC, yeah, just give him some new title that's gonna make him feel great. Give him a crown. Give him a little throne to go sit over there on the side with the pet lion next to him while he's calling plays. Do whatever we got to do to keep him in the building. But yeah, just like Fletch here, I was about to say it. Fletch says take one game at a time. Tampa is confident. But if we rattle Baker's chain at all, we will dominate. Go Lions. Yeah, I agree, and I think that's the key to it. We got to pressure Baker. We got to dominate that line, and we're going to be fine. And that's what we're good at. So as long as we continue this defense, the scheme that we're doing, I know we got different plan and everything for each team, but keep up what we're doing, and we're going to be just fine. Pressure the quarterback as much as we have been in the past. Baker Mayfield's not going to get away from some of those plays that Bryce Young was able to this past week. So I say that we're going to come away with another big sack game. I think Hutch gets another sack in this game. But yeah, as long as, like you said, if we rattle Baker a little bit, it's game over. David says Atlanta, Green Bay, and Tampa had one loss like us. Yeah, we just take team 2 losses. Yeah, let's just continue that trend. I agree. I like that statement. Way to put that out into the air, because that's what we do. Yeah, that we get these teams who think they're confident. They think that they're doing some great things, and I think Atlanta was actually undefeated when we played them. But yeah, we like to hand them some L's and humble them a little bit. We got a little humble pie week 2. Now we got our chip on our shoulder, and we're going out and we're serving up the humble pie now, baby. The roles have reversed. The roles have reversed. Okay, sorry about that. Alrighty, but yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up. It's been an hour. If you guys have any more questions for me, let me know, and I will try to answer that to the best of my ability. J Mommy says, yes, looks like St. Brown will be playing. And yeah, I said that earlier. Dan said it was probable. St. Brown wants to make it happen, but yes, I think the practice report came out. I think he's going to be playing this week, so good news. Good news for the Lions. He's a tough guy. I know it was probably eating at him sitting on the sideline over there last week, but he's going to get back out there. And let me say something about Amon-Ra and another wide receiver real quick. I'm going to talk about J-Mo real fast. J-Mo didn't have the greatest of games last week. He had a drop. He was about to get smacked. So, whatever. But I'll let him get by with that one, because I think he's going to step it up after this. But J-Mo is going to get more work this week, even with Amon-Ra back, and I think that opens up a lot for Amon-Ra, a lot more than he had before J-Mo was there. J-Mo can open up over the top at any time, so we're going to see Amon-Ra open over the middle a lot, and if not, we can just choo to J-Mo, and we got a touchdown there. But, I didn't expect a lot out of him last game. I'm glad that he did get a few catches. One was for negative yards, but the next one, if he doesn't trip up on his feet, who knows how far he's going, because that guy was striding already just for a few, and it could have gone a long way. But I think J-Mo improves, so don't be too hard on the kid yet. He doesn't have a ton of experience. He was suspended. They're going to get him more looks this week, but I think that J-Mo and Amon-Ra together for the first time this season is going to be huge. And we're going to see that it opens up a lot of things for each of them and other people too. Sam Laporta, again, I expect him to have another big game. The guy is an absolute animal for a rookie. And I don't see BB coming back, but who knows? Maybe something has been said since I've been talking to y'all. But I see you guys going off. So I'll read these, and then we will get out of here. But thank you guys once again, guys and gals, for coming in, commenting. My name's Nick Harkson with Touchdown Detroit Lions. I'm here every single Tuesday, 5 p.m. Detroit time. So be sure to come here next week. But yeah, let me get into these comments before we get out of here. Fletch says, I live in Central Florida, and have seen a lot of Lions-Bucks games in Tampa. Those fans are obnoxious as heck, but Lions fans are in droves. Okay, hey, yeah, I never been to a game. I've in Florida ever, but I could imagine that Tampa fans could get a little reckless. But are you going to go to the game this Sunday, Fletch? If so, Be repping that Honolulu blue proud. I think we're going to show out again this week on the road. It's Florida. People love to travel to warm weather. So I think that we're going to have another, away game, but it's going to be Ford Field, Tampa Bay. So let's make that happen again. David Barnett says, once saw Barry go crazy against Tampa in big sombrero. Yeah, I would have loved to see that. I mean, on TV it's awesome, but to see Barry in person is a whole different thing. And yeah, that's amazing. Awesome. See Me No More. Good to go. Enjoyed. We'll subscribe. Awesome. See Me No More. We have other shows throughout the week as well. Come back next Tuesday, though. Say what's up. Hope to see you here moving forward. Fletch says, got to have Brown playing. Yeah, it'll make a big difference for sure. Just like I said, him and J-Mo together for the first time. Brown on his own makes a big difference. J-Mo hasn't done anything this year to prove that he's a big playmaker. He will, though. But those two on the field together, you got to respect them all. And we got other guys as well. So it's just another weapon and a great weapon. Fletch says, great channel, just subbed. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Yeah, and if you haven't subbed yet, please sub. Thank you so much. Love it. J Mommy, have you heard anything about Martin making any progress on learning the system? I wish that I had. I wish that because that's a guy who's been sitting out that we were kind of expecting to come in and make a difference from the get-go, especially from what they were saying about him over the summer. Brad Holmes was like, oh, Broderick Martin making some huge steps forward and going to be, a difference maker for us. And he was saying stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, Broderick Martin, let's go. He's going to solve our issues on the interior defensive line. And then he hasn't even been out there, not even on the sideline. He's been a healthy scratch every single week. I have not heard anything. Hopefully some news progresses with him moving forward, because it would be nice to have him out there. The guy, he's going to take up more space than anybody can run through. So, hopefully, like I said, quickly we get some progression from him, because it looked like they had some big plans for him, and nothing is happening as of yet, unfortunately. And unfortunately, I don't have any more news for you there. All right, Fletch Lives Daily, going to the game, baby. Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. So many Detroit fans in Tampa. That's even better news. That's amazing. So it's going to be, once again, Ford Field, but in Tampa Bay this time. Let's, after the game, go and wipe the Bucks logo off of our field. Once we pick that. Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can come away with the W this week on the road. He says, and he said he saw the game, David, too. David Barnett, awesome, Fletch. Okay, guys. That's going to do it for me. That's been an hour. I'm just reading off your messages there at the end. But thank you once again for all the comments this week. It's been a great Victory Tuesday. Like we do every single week we win over here on Touchdown Detroit Lions. We don't just celebrate Victory Monday. We celebrate all week until the next game, baby. So just enjoy the rest of your Victory Tuesday. Come back next Tuesday. Say what's up. I'm here every Tuesday. 5 p.m. Detroit time, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. West Coast. Until next time, y'all, I hope you have a great day and peace.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions! Oh, baby, that is big-time stuff! Touchdown, Detroit Lions! Oh!